the giant Apache girl, and the lone rancher. The wind carried smoke long after the fighting had ended. The rancher reined his horse at the edge of the ruined Apache camp, boots sinking into ash and trampled earth. Lodges lay torn open. Spears snapped. Silence pressed heavy, the kind that followed slaughter. He had seen this kind of quiet before, after wars no one would remember. Then he saw her. She stood alone at the center of the camp, wrists bound, taller than any man he had ever known. Blood streaked her arm, but her back was straight. Soldiers surrounded her, laughing, arguing over what to do with a prize too dangerous to keep and too valuable to lose. "She won't bow," one said. "She won't break," another replied. The rancher dismounted slowly. He had lived alone for years, long enough to forget the sound of his own voice. When her eyes met his, he felt something shift. There was no fear in them, no pleading, only choice. In that look, he saw everything: loss, strength, and a will that refused to be owned. The soldiers kept talking, but the world narrowed to that silent exchange. Before he could stop himself, the rancher stepped forward and offered all he had: coin, papers, land. The soldiers stared, then laughed and took the deal. They rode at dawn. She walked beside his horse, unchained. He never asked her name. She never asked his. At night, he built the fire. She kept watch. When wolves circled, she rose like a shadow, and they vanished into the dark. Trust formed not through words, but through what was done when it mattered. On the third day, raiders came. Shots split the air. The rancher fell, blood soaking into the dust. Through blurred vision, he saw her move, not in rage, but in certainty. She fought like a storm breaking free, fierce and unstoppable. When it was over, she stood over him, breathing hard, eyes burning. She had stayed. At the ranch, days turned into weeks. She repaired fences no man could lift. Horses calmed under her hand. Townsfolk whispered when she passed. Fear and wonder tangled together. The rancher watched from a distance, knowing he could never claim her. One night, as firelight danced between them, she looked at him again. Not hard this time, not guarded. A question passed between them without sound. "Do I stay?" The answer came with the soldiers. They rode in with new orders, rifles ready, voices sharp. The rancher stepped in front of her, hands shaking but steady enough. He knew he would lose. He stood anyway. Then she moved. She stepped forward and stood beside him, taller, unyielding. Her eyes met his one last time, and the choice was clear. She was not taken. She was not owned.